Hey guys, Carlos Cortez here with another episode of Scriptures and Wall Street. Yes, I know you're probably shocked. No more funny green screen, no more funny graphics. I had to upgrade. So that's why I didn't even actually have a podcast this week, this Tuesday. So apologize for that. I've been working into detail, as you see. So feel free to comment about my artifacts on my shelves. I got Bob Ross there. I love white hats. And that's an American hat. And the bull, the white chiseled bull, America First Retirement Plan, book in the back. And I just really thought those glasses were funky. I was at like a Marshall's or like a thrift store. I can't remember. And I saw these like glasses and I was like, that would look good on my shelf. So I bought those. And there's a cup there. You guys know I'm in Tampa, like right here. This is from my favorite restaurants. It's the Columbia in Tampa. It's the oldest restaurant in Florida, and it's an olive oil base, I think you want to call it. So as you guys know, my mother is actually Spanish. My mother is Puerto Rican, but my grandparents are from Spain. So this was very sentimental for me, knowing that it's a culture thing for us. So a whole base of olive oil. And obviously, I got a cross that my kids made in Sunday school, picture of my family, the America First Retirement Planning book. And yeah, I'll keep on changing up things, but this is my new set. Pretty cool to have, different angles and just be able to be real with you guys. So I'm in love with it, and it's going to be able to effectively help me communicate with you and honestly just get inspired to talk more and podcast more. So thank you so much for all our likes and our subscribers. We're on YouTube now. You can go to YouTube, Scriptures and Wall Street. But first and foremost, go to Rumble. You can pause this. Go to Rumble and like and subscribe at Scriptures and Wall Street. For those of you that are joining us for the first time, we are on multiple networks. Welcome. I've been doing this for 4 years now. I don't think I'm stopping. And what's beautiful is that we are just bringing truth on Wall Street. And obviously it's more than just your money. It's more than the anxiety. There's a deeper issue with the anxiety, the financial anxiety that you have, that everyone has. Part of my talks, if you had the opportunity to speak with us in a consultation, one of the verses I say is 2 Timothy 1:7, for I have not given you the spirit of fear, but of love, power, and sound mind. Now, that is a very cliche verse and probably overused. I get it. But the financial anxiety is at an all-time high right now. And what we want to do is really just break it up. Like if it's a concrete brick, we want to smash it with a hammer. And the only way we do that is creating a plan that is focused on your beliefs, focused on the cross, focused on your subjects, on your objective. So when you have those things, you create confidence. And because you have confidence, you're able to generate a plan, and it's all reciprocal. It all comes together. And so that's what we're able to do here at Cortez Wealth, is really get to know you. If you're listening to this, 9 out of 10 times, you're at the same level we are at spiritually, ideologically, politically, academically, medically. I mean, you think it. We're on the same page because I only want to attract people that think just like I do. And I think that's important for when you pick an advisor, you're working with an advisor. It's completely important, 100% important, because think about it. If you go to your woke vaccinated advisor and he works at Edward Jones, Morgan Stanley, UBS, Fidelity, you name it, what's going to happen is they're going to tell you, hey, our portfolios have grown 15 to 20% a year, regardless of what the market, because once the market crashes, we'll go to treasuries and we'll buy junk bonds. And next thing you know, you're buying junk bonds at Moderna, or you're buying junk bonds at some small cap company that you really find out that they're the AI interface of Planned Parenthood or some demonic entity. And guess what? It comes in the form of a tax-free bond. It comes in the form of a corporate bond. And you had no idea, just like you didn't know that when you put money in the bank and you say, I want FDIC insurance on my bank. Well, guess what? You just forfeited your assets to the bank, because that adoption agreement you just signed, that account agreement you just signed, did you actually read it? Do you know what it says? Basically, I'll tell you, if they're an FDIC insured bank, typically what happens is they have to really coordinate with the FedNow program and all the requirements. And so what happens is that they have this 0.74 reserve mandate for them to be solvent. So when you put money in the bank, they literally have the right to bank bail in because there's no more bank bail outs. So what that means is as KRE and all these banks really, really go through the stress test that we're about to go in right now. And I say about and confidently because I'll show you the charts here in a second. The markets are going down. We've had a great bull run. I believe we're going to have a little correction here, possibly 10 to 15% before we see another bump. We'll end the year. We'll end the year positive in the S&P and the NASDAQ, but we will have a slump. And because of that, we've talked about the unraveling of the yield curve, right? So, and if you look at 2007, the yield curve, the 2-year was paying just as much as the 10-year, and they lowered interest rates to the government saw that or the Fed saw that there was a recession. So that was 2007. And then 2019, they did the same thing. They lowered interest rates. The yield curve was inverted. The 2-year was paying just as much as the 10-year. And they obviously was expecting something. So here we go. 2020 happened. There you go. But now in 2024, we see, and back in 1998, they lowered interest rates and we had 2001. I don't need to tell you what happened in 2001. You can almost predict all the false flags by when they unravel the yield curve. We had 9/11. We had the banking crisis, the Great Recession in 08. And in 2020, we had COVID when they lowered interest rates in 2019, the unraveling of the yield curve. The unraveling of the yield curve just happened this past year. So it was the longest it's ever been since 1950. So I've said it time in and time out. It's the unraveling of the yield curve. So that 2-year pays just as much as a 10-year. And so when we have that, we have problems. And so when we have those problems, we just have to be prepared. The financial anxiety kicks in. There is a lot of problems when we have a major indice and the pullback of the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones. There's a lot of things that economically could happen, and the Fed always is late to lowering interest rates. I mean, this is not something new that we've experienced. So the other thing I wanted to mention is that if we go to scriptures, Matthew 6:19, verse 21, do not store up your treasures on earth where moth and vermin destroy and where thieves break in and steal, but store up your treasures in heaven where moths and vermin do not destroy and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, your heart will be also. What I do like is Proverbs 23:5. Cast but a glance at your riches, and they're gone. For they will surely sprout wings and fly off to the sky like an eagle. I mean, that picture is obviously vivid. Like, can you just imagine? In other words, we say the money can just go and be gone. Like, what if that happened to you in your retirement? Like, where would your head be at? Where would your aim be at? What would you think about God? Would you play victim if you lost everything? So, you know what? This person is evil. I shouldn't have done this. I blame everybody else, and you take no responsibility. Or you're going to say, you know what? Thank you, God. This is a gift because now I can grow from this. I've never been in a situation where I don't have money. I don't have a plan. And even at 65 years old, now I got to scramble to figure something out. And actually, it's that grit that you have, that vulnerability that Jesus wants to bless. Like he says he wants to bless the meek. That doesn't mean you have to be poor. I want to make sure we're clear on that. Doesn't mean you have to be poor. He cares more about your heart. And so when we align our hearts with the cross, money just comes. He blesses us like a good kid. Think about your kids. How much are you hooking up to your kids that are doing well? How do you reward them? And you reward them, hopefully, if they do a good job. Like you buy them an electric scooter. Maybe you buy them a phone that they want. Maybe you buy them that outfit that they've always wanted, or a new pair of Jordans, or, you know, whatever your child likes, right? My kid's going to like hockey equipment. My girl's going to like, dolls and stuff. what do you call it? Like play makeup things. Everybody has a reward system. And I'm not here to tell you how to parent, but I'm telling you, like when you Malachi 3 your life and you literally give your first fruits to the Lord, he just blesses you with knowledge. He blesses you with just favorability. And more importantly for me, it's going to be the protection. Like because my heart is aligned with Christ, I know like if I had a lavalier that shot through my neck and killed me, I know where I'm going because my heart is aligned with Jesus at all times. We have to stay ready. Oh, and I guess if you're watching this, you didn't get raptured either. So, but in all realness, you just need to have your heart right. The money will come. The money is always going to be there. And so I really just want to really dive into like the financial anxiety people are experiencing. We're getting a lot of phone calls on our 29% bonus that's going away November 1st on our greenmoneysolutions.com. And I can hear it. Oh, Carlos, I just need to know what about this bonus. I need to know about this bonus. It's like a drug, dude. Like, chill out, man. You sound like you guys sound greedy almost. Like, is a 29% bonus really going to change your life? There's some caveats to it. You have to be okay. You have to be under 65. You have access to 10%. There's a fee, 0.95. Like a bonus is not going to change your life, guys. It is a great tool, a great vehicle, but it's not going to change your life. I know you want to grow your asset, but I would dive deeper into why you think a bigger asset will make you a better person. Like, what are you going to do? If I grow your $500,000 to $1 million within 4 to 6 years, are you going to buy a kitchen or are you just going to use it on yourself? Like, what is the aim behind growing your retirement? Like, we need to dive deeper into that. So I just wanted to share that because, yeah, we do have a product. If you're younger than 65 years old, you'll get a 29% bonus. You can add to it, and all your subsequent premiums will grow, guaranteed at 29%, plus whatever the index does. And the index is a transition index, amazing index. It's taken a hit the past 2 years. But it is steady Eddie, man. I love that thing. So it's important that we pray for wisdom, guys, is what I'm saying. It's important we pray for wisdom. It's important that we have introspects on a daily basis. In other words, just daily reflection on where our heart is at. And we can review your investments. But a lot of people want to review their investments when I'm saying, hey, let's review your heart, man. Let's review your aim, because your current advisor is probably not getting deeper on a personal scale. Maybe you're not on the same page as you are or they are. You're not on the same page together collectively, because we want to make sure that we're bringing on clients not just to grow your asset. That's easy for me. I mean, how many shot calls do you want? I already made one on SPXL. If you took that one, again, not investment advice, you made some money. You freaking made some money by listening to Scriptures in Wall Street. Like, straight up, I told you what was going to happen. I'm going to have another shot call here. I have to. Again, everything on this podcast is not investment advice. If you take anything that I say, that is on your own accord. If you would like financial advice, give us a call, 813-448-3446, or visit us at cortezwm.com. And if you want to know about these bonuses and have a guarantee on your money, you can go to greenmoneysolutions.com. That is my insurance advisor website. You could just pick an option and say, hey, Carlos, I really like this option. I don't know where to get it. And we can just have a 15-minute conversation to make sure it is suitable for you. It's in all states. Every state is different. And yes, your state controls how much you can put in these accounts. It's crazy. I know it's not a federally mandated account. It's a state chartered account. And that's the beauty about this, because when you have green money working for you, you actually have not an FDIC product. You have an insurance product that has dollar for dollar reserves. They're A-rated. And then they must have, number two, they must have a reinsurance company that has dollar for dollar to back up the insurance company. And number three, your particular state, anywhere from 250,000, 300,000 per contract. If the first two layers ever blow up, then the state will come in and just literally underwrite and insure the whole thing. So we want to make sure that we're utilizing that for most of our retirees. I mean, simply put, You should have a bucket that is tactically managed, risk wise, and then you should have a bucket of money that's protected, guaranteed, never to lose value. Maybe you turn on income on this, but it should have a bucket of money set aside where you're not touching it and it just compounds on an annual basis. That is a huge component. And the fact that it's not in red money is such a huge problem in America. It's like a holistic doctor trying to get a job at a big pharma hospital. And that's what I feel like here is that the Wall Street banks, they do not want you to know about green money. They're in the red money system. I was in the red money system. I actually like trading in the red money system, and that's okay. Most advisors will only recommend red money because they took a pay, they took a pay salary from the big banks and their whole system, from the licensing to the assistants, to the carriers, to the investments, to their 401k, to their personal vendettas is all tied to the bank. So they're stuck there, and they're stuck only on this pogo stick that they can only tell you about red money. And if that's you, give us a call. Give us a call because there is hope. You don't have to stay in the red money system. I'm talking about the Raymond James. I'm talking about LPL. I'm talking about Fidelity, Morgan Stanley, Ameriprise, all these banks. If you have a quarterly statement, you are in securities. And there's nothing wrong with securities, but when you have all your retirement and your money is not aligned with you spiritually and values, and you have an advisor that doesn't agree with you politically, spiritually, academically, ideologically, whatever you want to call it, you're not on the same page. They're going to fund things that basically are not in your value framework. And so we want to get away from that because I truly believe God will not honor you or bless you if you know this stuff and you're in it, and you won't have the freedom. You won't have the clarity. Like, it is nice knowing that I'm not funding this garbage. And so give us a call if that's you, if you have some financial anxiety. It's time to rebalance your portfolio. Interest rates are dropping like crazy. So there's things that we can do to make money off of a declining interest rate. Speaking of declining interest rates, we'll see the markets actually come down a little bit because there will be some fear. There is some volatility index that is popping up. Because of that, I wanted to show you some charts real quick. So guys, I want to show you something pretty interesting here. So when we lower the interest rates, banks will lose money. Now, this is from a day trading standpoint, and I'm going to show you the long term real quick. So our 2 minute, like if you're day trading this, which 99% of you are not, but I just kind of want to show you how lagging these indicators are, just so you know. So this is on a 2 minute. So I got a death cross on a 2 minute, but it's popping up. So this might be faint. So that's a 2 minute. Here goes a 30 minute. So every 30 minutes, this refreshes, and you can already see a trend come down. Now I got traffic lights. There's still a lot of momentum buying this dip, so to speak. That's a 30 minutes. So that means our 1 hour is going to be based off the 30 minute. And still we see this trend come down, right? And if we look our MACD, it's kind of in this channel where it's losing momentum. Previously, we had higher momentum, but it's weakening. The spikes are just weakening. So it's dying. It's literally dying. We have volatility index going up, guys. So at 17, it's been 13, 15, literally the past year. And so having this trend on a 1 hour is huge because it shows that there is a trend coming. My traffic lights, I wouldn't trade this. I wouldn't short this now because on that 1 hour, you're going to lose money if you're shorting this. There's just too much momentum going on upside. But now we fast forward to the 4 hour. And check this puppy out. We see this red momentum here and our traffic lights long-term here, which takes a lot to turn this thing red. However, our short-term, our midterm, and our short-term momentum is popping still up. So still not a good trade. But I do want to show you the emphasis that these banks are going to go under stress. I mean, that is not a conspiracy theory. This is actual facts. And so what they do when a bank is under stress, what they typically do, guys, is they stop telling you, hey, we cannot honor a $5,000 withdrawal. It's got to be $2,500. They stop having 2 or 3 tellers available. They change their hours. They limit the weekend hours. Some banks are doing weekend hours. Those are going to be gone. They're going to make it more AI based where they don't have to pay. They don't have to pay somebody to be there. You're going to see them do funny things, float checks. You're going to start to see this nonsense because the banks are losing money. And I'm proving it right now. So this is on a 4-hour chart, guys. The 4-hour chart is very telling to the daily. Now, the daily is no joke. This is like, yeah, this is serious. So let me show you there. Oh, I didn't realize that I had my chart up. Okay, there we go. So the day chart is what I typically find my options trades on. I typically can predict what's going to happen in a week just on a day because the week is based off the daily. So check this out, guys. Like, we see this massive red momentum shift. I got all traffic lights, short term, midterm, long term. It has hit the top peak of our momentum channel, and we're getting a red dot here. So the momentum is completely bearish. Volatility index is at 17. Anything over 18 is going to be higher. Lower interest rates. We're going to start to see this thing come down. Now, if you look at how it was last year this time, it was around 54. It's at 66 right now. But you remember when I was talking about this 2 years ago, and we had this like huge threat of a bank run? It was in February of 23. And look at this thing. And the death cross showed up. Boom. It dropped all the way to $38. And I was telling people to buy it here, but I was telling people to sell here. You made some money on both ends, on the downward and the upwards. So yeah, this thing is the region. Just so you know, KRE is a regional banking system. This is going to be your PNCs, your regions banks. A lot of banks that you probably bank at. So it is very, very important to pay attention to the financials right now as we go into this weird, feels like a recession. It's not a recession. They're printing money still. And, you know, Trump is still making money off the tariffs, but the banks are crapping bricks because we have all these commercial real estate loans that need to be refinanced. And when they do, the bank loses money on that. They can no longer have the 7%, 8%, 9% commercial lending rates. They have to be slashed in half. So they based and predicated a lot of their balance sheets, their income statements off of this income. So pretty interesting. You add that with a weaker job market. You add that with less deposits going into the bank. I see a free-for-all here, man. Like this could be really, really detrimental. So that is the daily. Here we are with the weekly. My green hasn't turned long-term red yet, but it's just a matter of when. You see that whole week is in a little speckle. You can barely even see it because this is a weekly chart. But I showed you on a daily, there's a little red dot there. And so when we have that, you'll notice that is just a week there. And so when we have that little speckle and red dots, it will go down. It will go down. So just be careful with the banks, guys, because I'm not really feeling too bullish on the banks. And I want you guys to understand that this is not fear mongering. This is actually a chart that tracks KRE, the banking system, so that you can see for yourself that I'm not just blowing smoke up. You know what's all right. So let's talk about. I haven't looked at it yet today, but let's look at the S&P. Many people are in the S&P. All right. So look, the S&P has had a great run this year. Since January 2025, we had this dip and then it's back up. You would have to been okay holding holding SPX and literally just going down with it like 15%, only for it to come back 35% and netting about 12.8%. Year to date, it's up about 12.8%. However, I got a sell signal here, meaning that if you bought all these buys and sells are my option signals. And so right now we're selling and the market is going to come down. Check out my momentum index. Check this out. It is literally coming down. Like the S&P 500 is going down. Now, let's see what the bro investors are saying. Check out the bro investors. Bro, did you check out that website, bro? All right, Fed divide depends on official go public with rate views. Oh no, look at this cute little smile. He knows something. S&P NASDAQ slide to lead stocks towards a third day of losses, bro. White House begins plan for mass firings if shutdown happens, bro. Retail investors are engaged in educated Charles Schwab CEO. Guys, by the time you literally read it on the bro investors, you're too late. Oh. And then they sucker you in saying what it takes to join the 1% and how to get there. So you want me, the manipulated sheep, to listen to the manipulation of this satanic, Masonic, overlord control media and join this 1%. And this article is going to teach me how to be a part of the 1%. And the biggest ad is for what? The banks that literally will bank bail you in. Goodness gracious, this is terrible. What is a 1%? Yeah, so listen to Yahoo Finance alone what the 1% is. I tell you what, the 1% is not reading that article and changing their lives to be the 1%. I promise you that. So let me tell you something about the real dogs in the industry, the real gangsters. What typically happens is they do their research, they do their homework, they find out things before it happens based on charts, based on fundamentals, and not listening to this rhetoric that is owned by the freaking manipulated Luciferian media companies. I'm beyond saying it's the Israelis, it's the Jews, it's, a certain country. I'm beyond that because they may come from one country, they may come from 10 countries. It does not matter. Evil comes in every ethnicity, guys. So if you're saying it's the Jews, read your Bible, man, because it says, literally it says that we suffer not from flesh and blood, but rulers of darkness in high wicked places, principalities. It is principalities that we are going against. It is not the Mormons. It is not the Jews. It is not the Muslims. Heck, it could be the freaking Christians. It is an evil upon evil that is controlling everything. We can point the finger to a certain ethnicity, but let me tell you, I don't follow anybody else. I follow Christ Jesus. And what he did on Calvary was he got killed, mocked, urinated on, disgusted by every single scum of the earth, by the Romans and the Jews. They crucified him on a cross. Like he had every skin on his back torn by a thorn-based whip. And he had the legal right to say, screw them, kill them all. But he chose to put his strength down. He chose to lay it all down. He had the ability to rip his arms off the cross. He was the most masculine entity that ever walked this earth, but yet most gracious. We always talk about his grace, but we forget how strong he was physically. The guy was a savage, and he endured a whipping while carrying that cross up Calvary. Lord knows how long it was, how heavy that cross was. And guess what? He still murdered them with his grace. He said, forgive them, Father, for they not know what they do. Forgive them, Father. Like he's laying himself on the cross saying, forgive them, Father. I want you to think about that. Your killer is killing you. Doesn't matter what color they are, what religion they are. He's laying himself as a living sacrifice to say, forgive them, Father. Does that say hate the Romans, hate the Jews, hate the Muslims? No, it doesn't. And if we are pushing that rhetoric, brother, sister, you are lost. You are lost. Most Americans do not read their Bible. And I'm calling you, I'm challenging you to open up that dusty Bible of yours, because God speaks to those that seek his face. God speaks to you in so many ways. It's not even a like a moment thing. It is the Holy Spirit will literally show up, not at just Charlie Kirk's memorial service. It's there every day. You literally just have to go and ask for it. Like there's moments where you're driving down the highway in your car, and someone pulls over and needs help, and you're the only one that can help them, even on their way to work, on the way to pick up your kids. And it's always that time where that one person just needed a confirmation that someone cared. That is the Holy Spirit working through you. And then you have a time to say, you know what? It's not me. God told me to stop by and say hello. If you want that, that is called fruit, brother. You only get fruit when you trust God. We talked about last podcast the two roads we can take. We can take the people pleasing route, where to the right of it, we're going to please God. We're going to choose a road to please God. We're going to go to church. We're going to smell good, put our favorite watch on, get our nice clean haircut, wear the best clothes of Sunday, and go to Bible study and tithe and act as if. Meanwhile, your house is a shithole. Your house is a wreck. You have no relationship with your kids. You're focused on your business and not in your health or your wealth, which is not money. Your wealth is your family. Your wealth is your intentionality with your kids. I guarantee you, if you ask your child, hey, son, how is dad showing up? What do you like about your dad? What am I doing wrong? Actually, I challenge you. Record it and put it on it. Put yourself on blast. Get uncomfortable, because I do it every single day. I ask my kids, how am I going to be? Just tell me, how am I showing up as a dad? How am I showing up? And sometimes it's the hardest thing to ask, because they will tell you the truth. They will tell you the truth. Like, Pops, you're too hard on me. I don't like the way you yelled at Mom. It makes me feel scared. I don't like how you cussed the other day. I don't like how you didn't talk to me while you're on the phone. I didn't like that. Like, they will tell you. And I encourage you to ask your kids, how am I showing up? You will have your answer. Then, if you got the balls enough to do it, I would say, ask God, how am I showing up? And he will tell you. Ask for his Holy Spirit. Ask for him. Just ask him, why was I born? What do you want me to know? What is your will for me? And until we get clarity on those questions, you will have a suffering Christianity, because you're choosing the road to go to the right, pleasing God. He doesn't want to be pleased. He wants you to trust him. He wants you to literally commit. He wants you to commit, not to your checkbook. He wants you to commit to him, to fully trust him, immerse yourself into him. And when you start doing that, things start clicking on the retirement side. Things start clicking on the health side. Things start clicking everywhere. And it's not because it's luck. It's not because you're good. It's not because you're smart. It's because you have the favor of God. And you know what's beautiful is all you have to do is say yes. All you have to do is just ask him and change your freaking heart. Like, let's be real, man. Most men are freaking pussies in the church. You're passive. You just show up and, oh, yeah, whatever, cool. We're going to drink beer right after the game or to the game. Hurry up and do your altar call, pastor. Hurry up. And then next thing you know, the business calls come in Sunday night about Monday, and you're completely disenchanted with everyone. And I'm sorry if I curse a little bit. I am not perfect. I am a sinner, and I do curse to be authentic. But here, the most weakest men are in the church where the most strongest men are. And because they're putting a mask on. But when it's time to do Christian things, they don't want to do Christian things. Everybody wants to be a Christian until it's time to do Christian stuff. Everybody wants to be a gangster until it's time to be a gangster. and I can add some other colorful words. So this podcast, guys, I can show you how to make money. That's easy for me. I can talk about charts all day. That's easy for me. I've been doing this for a very long time. I don't need anyone's business. I'm definitely not desperate. I know how to make money off of my own trades, and I actually enjoy what I do for a living. I'm very selective on actually working with people because I don't like working with people that have a set mindset, a greedy mindset, a victim mindset. So this is why I don't really talk to everybody that calls in, and I have other advisors because I want to, what you're going through actually comes on my life. If I'm spending time with you, I want to be an influence to you. I want to speak to you directly. I want you to have no shame in your game and be vulnerable, be real. Like, we only get one shot at this life. You can choose to go the pleasing God route and the fake route. You can choose all the garbage that comes with it, or you can choose to the left and actually choose to trust God. And that's where you find your freedom. That's where you find your knowledge. That's where you find your success. And what you say about Charlie, I don't know if he's with the Masons. I don't know any of that stuff. But you know what? He's the only influencer. You can look at all of them. And I'm not here to name them. But every person on a podcast that has a podcast 10 times bigger than me, do you see them dead? Do you see somebody threaten their lives? You know why? Because he was the only one living for Jesus. And that's why they killed him. He the only one, and I can verify this because I know he was sending Bible verses to some close friends of mine. And I don't know any influencer that literally seeks his face and sends Bible verses at 6 o'clock in the morning, his time, to his friends. Some of those friends I do know, and actually was going to go on his show, but he wanted a lot of money. But hey, I was willing to pay it because I actually enjoyed, I supported what he believed in. And guess what? When light hits the dark, darkness trembles. And guess what? They kill him, just like what Tucker says. Tucker Carlson, actually, I respect him. Like, he literally went up there and started talking about who killed Jesus. The same people that killed Jesus killed Charlie. And it's not that it's Israeli focus, guys. I want you to understand that. It is evil focus. So I'm not pointing out who did it. Honestly, don't even care. I personally think it came from that lavalier mic that Stu was talking about and shot right through the neck because you saw his T-shirt pop up and the entry was light, but the exit was big. And then you see the T-shirt pop up here. So if you have a lavalier, this pops up, your T-shirt, and then there's a big hole exit wound that pops up and blood gushes out. There was no way Tyler Robinson shot him from that roof. Any logical person would think that, right? So how are you going to get a rifle, stick it in your pants, go down a building, and supposedly find a machine gun or an assault rifle, a sniper rifle in wooded area and show up at Dairy Queen like nothing happened? I'm not believing it, man. And this is the false flag. This is the manipulation that is real. It's same thing with your money. They do the manipulation stuff in the red money bucket all the time. I could show you so many examples, but I'm just grateful to have you here. I'm grateful that I get to speak life into you. I get to be raw, authentic. I get to be here knowing that you're listening. I have a lot of experience with all of this stuff, financial and wealth management, but I also grew up in a church. My father's a pastor, a drill sergeant. He instilled masculinity in me beyond belief. So I got conservatism from the church as well as military background. And I love what I do. It never feels like I'm working. And I'll always have a microphone. I will always have a platform as long as I'm alive. I will always acknowledge Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior publicly so that the Son can acknowledge me in front of his Father. Period. Doesn't matter what that looks like. You need to have the same attitude and trust God and not please God. If you currently have money in the bank, a 401k, or even precious metals in an IRA, you may want to listen up. You're going to want to have a place where you have a guarantee on your funds. As we go into a lower interest rate environment, banks will be stressed out. Right now, you can get a guarantee, yes, a guarantee on your principal and get a 29% bonus. Go to greenmoneysolutions.com, fill out your information, and let's just see if you qualify. Hey, sorry about that. I had to take a little break there. But as we continue, we left off, we spoke about KRE. Look, guys, at the end of the day, the interest rates are going down. Banks are not going to make money, and they're going to utilize all the resources, all the trickery that you can possibly imagine when it comes to your banks. It doesn't matter how big your bank is. If they have a commercial lending department, if they have commercial loans, your bank is going to be subject to all the financial stresses in the likes of 2008, this time even bigger. Because as we look at KRE and all these stocks and all the flows, like, this is not conspiracy theory. This is actually factual and quantitatively expressed and researched. Like, I showed you the KRE chart. This stock is going down, and you can continue to look at it. And it's on a weekly, it's on a daily, it's on a 4-hour, and we have a lot of momentum going down. And so you can see the banks, they will go down. It's not a prediction. It's pretty much, I don't want to say the G word, but it's pretty much certain that the banks are going to go down with the projections of the chart. So a lot of fundamental analysis, a lot of things happening on the fundamental side. I don't even have to look at the charts. You already know. So this begs the question: what happens to gold? What happens to silver? What happens to all those things? Well, a lot of people think that gold and silver are going to go up, and you know what? They're right. And I'm gonna show that right now. Actually, let's take a look. So yes, let's take a look. First, let's take a look at silver. Silver has been on a tear. Wow, wow, wow. And it just continues to go up. So what's interesting about silver is we got the same projection all the way back in June. Remember when June shot up from like I think it was around $33 a share. Yeah, we had it around 33 in June. And boom, it's been on a tear. So we had a buy signal here, guys. You see that? My buy signals, these green bars are highly, highly vindicated and highly probable. So we got a green bar on May 25th that this particular stock or underlining security, again, it's not investment advice. I'm not giving investment advice. So don't take this as investment advice. This is for information and education purposes only. So silver has been on a tear. And I want you guys to understand it's very easy to start getting greedy when it comes to these things. We got full traffic lights like for months. And this thing, literally right now, it's at $45. $45 an ounce. Pretty much going to hit 50. I mean, this projection is huge. This momentum is huge in silver. Let's look at our ATR, which is $1. So it can move $1 on a daily basis. So at 45, it could shoot to 46 just on Monday. It could go down to 44 on Monday. I highly doubt it's going to go down because this momentum cannot be stopped on one day. We are on a 4-hour chart. This is a daily chart. This is not a day trade, guys. This is a complete swing trade. So if you wanted to buy silver, you can hang it on to it, and eventually it's going to reach its all-time high. So check this out. We will start to see loss of momentum on our weekly. I got a sell signal here. That means if you took a profit on the buy side, like in September, it will be a good time to take some profits off of silver. If you are in silver, maybe 25%, maybe half, somewhere around there. I would lock in some of those gains, because what's going to happen, anything that goes up like this, there will be a massive correction. Look how high my oscillator is. It's never like, we're looking at the MACD. Sorry, the MACD, not my oscillator, but the MACD, which basically is our momentum and our volume combined. But look, it's never been this high. The last time it was high, guess what happened? Boom. It went down. It went down here. So here's our leading indicator. It hit this top blue line. Momentum went down. And guess what? The same line back in 2020, late 2020 in July, guess what happened, guys? Silver took a hit a good 3 months later. So do not get greedy, is what I'm saying. All you guys are getting greedy on silver. It will come down. And the last time it hit this level, it went down tremendously. It actually, so it hit this level back here at 26. And then it was in this channel. This is where people get killed. They think it's going to go up again, and then they get killed. And banks come in, start manipulating you. We got a death cross here. I got red traffic lights. You see that? Boom, went down to 18. Holy smokes. Now you're feeling like garbage. And then, the investors started buying it again and went up. But imagine if you bought it up here and you thought you started going in like with all your emotions. Oh, silver's going to go up. The Ukraine Russian war, it's all about silver. In my opinion, it is. Whatever the story that led you to buy silver, I like the story. I like silver because it is a commodity. And because it's a commodity, it's not a tier one currency like gold. The government can't take your silver away because it's an actual industrial metal. So, anyways, going back to it, we see this unhealthy. I mean, it's a very healthy, but it's very, very risky if you're retired and you're sitting on a lot of silver in your portfolio. Guys, it is time to take some profits. You don't have to sell all of it. I still own silver, but what I'm telling you is let's be smart here. Let's take a good 25, maybe 40, or you can even do a third, a third, a third. So we sell off a third, we profit that third, right? And then we're now getting our principal back, at least half of our principal back of what you initially started, and let the other half run. And now you're playing with the house money. You're playing with the bank money. There is no risk to your trade. And guess what? If it goes up to 100, you're ecstatic because you participated in it and you got your principal back. No one ever will ever FOMO you or make you feel bad for locking in a profit. Don't ever feel bad and guilt and shame because that is the financial trap that they want you to do. So I just wanted to update you guys on silver because we had a lot of questions on silver and people are like, "Oh, I'm staying in silver." And look, it's going up. It for sure is going up. Precious metals is up, not because of inflation. If you bought that story, you had a gold salesman trying to sell you and make 25% off you. I'm sorry, that's the reality. They don't talk about charts. The guys that sell precious metals or gold, they don't bring charts. They're not fiduciaries. They're not even financial guys. They're just salesmen. And they know the story of why you're buying it, and they tap into your emotions and they tell you to do erratic things like sell out of your safe money accounts, sell out of your CDs. I mean, that's actually a good thing, the CDs, but sell out of your mutual funds, sell out of the market. Things are going up. And to get screwed and buying a gold IRA, which is the dumbest thing you can do because you don't own an IRA and now you're locked into silver or gold. And if you ever have losses in a gold IRA account, which you will one day, because you see the cycle. Look, I mean, this is a cycle. Like there is no joke. Like, well, this is a US dollar, but I'm going to show you, as you saw, the gold is up and down. There's no principal section. It is red money. Red money is unlimited losses, unlimited gains. You can't have your whole retirement in red money. You will have fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So this is the dollar. I wanted to show you the dollar real quick because it has had its worst 3 months. Actually, its worst year in a long time. So if we measure this, check this out over a span of let me get on a weekly. I'm sorry. So yeah, this whole month, the dollar has been literally going down like crazy. And so we are hitting another support level here around 31. And this is the dollar futures. So the other thing is I want to show you something. So silver and precious metals and gold have been skyrocketing. Not because of inflation. they've been skyrocketing because this bad boy, this yellow line I just drew, if you can't see it, I'll even draw it with my ugly blue pen here. This is the dollar. The dollar is weakening. I would say was weakening. But look what we got here, baby. We got traffic lights. Short term and midterm, now long term. This is on a weekly. So this isn't something that is like, I'll put it on a day. The day looks like it's about to take off. This is the US dollar. Look at my momentum bar here. You mean to tell me this is going to come crashing down? No way. It already hit its bottom and now it's coming back up. So guess what's going to happen to your precious metals? Yes, you're going to lose your ass on it. Sorry to say, I'm not here to protect your feelings, but this is the natural cycle on it. You will lose money in your precious metals in the next 2 to 3 months. I mean, the dollar is going up because it already had its hit all-time low. It has its worst quarter in forever. Look how bad this thing is. Any stock, any investment, when you see it hit its rock bottom, that's when you buy. And the foreign investors know this. They're like, you know what? This dollar has been crashing. Let's go ahead and start picking it up. Because low key, they still want it. It's still the money reserve. I don't care what anyone says. We're still the financial giant, even though we are demasculated, even though the whole system is occupied by evilness. We get it. But yes, we are going to see a rebounding dollar, and Trump's going to beat his chest and, oh, look what I did. Look what I did. It was huge. It was huge. You know, he's going to take credit when it's nothing but a natural market cycle. And look at this, short term, midterm, long term. We see the power behind this. This is going to start saying bullish power. That's just one small indicator. But these traffic lights, when they turn green, they're like really, really accurate. It's very hard to not have all three and it go the opposite way. I actually haven't seen it maybe 1% of the time. So, guys, the dollar is going to go up. Your precious metals are going to lose value. So you don't have to go down with it. You don't have to go down with it. We're here to protect you. So all you got to do is contact us. If you contact me on October 31st on Halloween and say, yo, I want this account, probably is not going to happen, guys, because November 1st, I have to have the paperwork already in. So contact us now. Interest rates are going down. They're going to be closing up shop on that 29% bonus very quickly. So this week is probably going to be your last week, this week and next week, because they have the right to shut it down because there's millions of dollars. Literally, I just moved like 4 or 5 million this week alone. But there's millions of dollars going into these accounts. And don't get left behind. Don't get stuck in the bank when KRE comes down. I'm telling you, I'm going to be tracking it. This stuff is fun for me. So if you saw SPF, Stu Peters Financial, I basically predicted a year ago that whenever we have an inverted yield curve, we're going to see accidents, false flags, travesties, pandemics. And I already showed that. So you got to check out that pod on Stu Peters Financial. Pretty amazing stuff that I was able to talk with Stu about. Anyways, God bless you guys. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing it. I can't do any of this without you. Like, literally, we got a full studio in my crib. I'm loving it. It's so much fun. I'm like excited to podcast. I'm not stuck on this corny green screen with those moving objects. I thought that was like so annoying. But here we are. You get to see me in different angles. We're adding more cameras, more lights, more technology, only to serve you and to give you the best content ever. So definitely go to rumble.com, like and subscribe. I need the money because this stuff is expensive. So by you calling in, the investments and the 1% fee that I make helps out pay for everything. So thank you so much for your support and your donations for the actual show, Scriptures on Wall Street. God bless you guys, and I will see you soon.
They try to fool my hustle, try to kill my dream, but the cross is my weapon and the truth is my team. Unapologetic, I won't bow, I won't hide. Latino blood, American pride, with a word in my heart and the fire in my speech. I'm a warrior for the kingdom on Scriptures and Wall Street.
If you currently have money in the bank, a 401k, or even precious metals in an IRA, you may want to listen up. You're going to want to have a place where you have a guarantee on your funds. As we go into a lower interest rate environment, banks will be stressed out when the commercial real estate crisis happens. Right now, you can get a guarantee, yes, a guarantee on your principal, and get a 29% bonus. If you're younger than 65 years of age, we can utilize an insurance-based contract that has been around for over 100 years. And guess what? You get a guarantee on your funds. You get a guarantee on your principal. We want to help you find a guarantee on your funds that are actually outside of banking laws, outside of securities laws. Right now, as interest rates are getting lowered, we only have this special running to November 1st. Go to greenmoneysolutions.com, fill out your information, and let's just see if you qualify.